I would like to talk to you guys today about how to date an idea. And I'll also tell you about an idea I'm currently in a relationship with. There's a lot of ideas out there, and most of them suck. There's a couple of them that'll tickle you in a special place, but they don't pan out. But of course, you're looking for the one, right? And so first, you got to find this idea, which is a lot like speed dating. You don't want to commit to the first one. You want to feel each one out a little bit and see what it has to offer. One-night stands are highly encouraged. If you can spend all night on this idea and look it in the face the next day, it's probably a good project. And of course, you got to beware of the ugly duckling, the idea that just doesn't taste right or doesn't motivate you, right? Later down the road with some more experience, some new ideas, it might actually turn out to be a pretty good thing. So a little backstory on the idea that I came up with is I enjoy listening to audiobooks when I can't actively read. And it amazed me how one reader could bring to life this book and all these different characters using only their voice, some dialects, and some accents. But it's not perfect. I can still tell it's the same reader. So of course the engineer in me starts thinking, well, how would I improve this? And the obvious answer is a unique reader for each character. So I take this idea on a date, and I say, how would I fix this? Well, I could ask my friends and family to read to me, but that's a little too personal. I know their voices. It wouldn't bring it to life for me. What I would really like is to have Angelina Jolie reading me to sleep, but that's impractical. And so I get on this train of thought and think, well, there's some really good impersonators out there. But impersonators are only good for voices like Christopher Walken and Samuel L. Jackson, those really unique voices. But then it kind of hits me. Crowdsourcing. We could use all these different voices out there to bring these books to life in different ways. And so I get onto some dating tips. The first thing, ignore baggage. Every idea is going to have baggage, and if you start thinking about it, you're going to get bogged down. This is your time to experiment, to try new things, to make it unique, and also gain some new skills. Don't worry if it's out of your league. If you want to build a skateboard or build a city, you can do it. Just try it. But you need to know when to call it quits. Not every idea is worth a business venture. Right? And it's not monogamous. And what I mean by this is every idea you come up with, people are going to say it's been done. But do you think that stopped Zuckerberg from starting Facebook after MySpace was already out? So just try it and make it new. Another thing you can do is introduce it to the family. They'll give you honest feedback, usually. Check your pride at the door and ask them for honesty, and you can usually get some pretty good stuff. So when I dated my idea, the first thing that kind of popped up is, it's copyright issues, right? But it's baggage, so I just ignored it. I knew I was going to need content management, been done. Probably going to need to be mobile because it's audiobooks, right? I've done mobile. So I went and did front-end development, and that's the skill I did. So committing to an idea, you get some children, and these are your users, spawned from you and your idea. And you don't have to like them, you probably won't, but you need them to like you. And it's okay to pick favorites. You only need to support a majority of them. And do the minimal work to keep them interested because you can get a much larger user base if you just do enough for each one. So the children that I came up with between me and my idea are readers, which I ignored because reading's been done, your listeners, your voice actors, and then producers who kind of put this together. You also probably need somebody to curate the work because the data format's not just out there, but too many questions, so I ignored it. So I'd like to introduce you to the project I dubbed Read To Me, and here's some snapshots of it here, where you select a book, and yes, I went and got this cover art online, which is probably copyright protected, baggage, ignored. Right? You get your description of the book, right? Standard. So what did I do to improve it? I go, well, what if you could see the main characters of the book? And so I put these images in. And as a listener, you're going to want to see the different productions. So you click a production, and it reads a little bit of each character and highlights them. And so this is me working on my front-end skills. And then when you find a production you like, the voices you like, you start reading the book, and it starts reading to you and actively shows the line that it's on. As a voice actor, I'm going to reuse a lot of this, do the minimal work. And so you see the exact same screens, except for rather than seeing all your different productions, you see the character and the little background on it. Now this is the cool one. As a producer, you get to come in and just create almost your own unique version of this book. And so you go in, choose each character, and choose the voice you want for them, if the voices are there. But I go, why stop there? What if, when Little Red Riding Hood is running through the forest, there's a forest background? Now we have artists coming in, donating work to each of these books. Well, what about sound effects? What if every time there's a trumpet fanfare being read in the book, bam, there it is. And so this is my project. I'd like to thank Seamus for giving me that character artwork you guys saw. And if you're interested in following the project, it's read to me at herokuapp.com. So, thank you.